So coming into college, I figured I was at the top of the world of math. I'd always been in advanced math since around second grade, and I ended up testing into math 172. I had originally been planning on being an engineer, but I eventually changed it to radio. So I figured, hey, I don't have to really take these hard classes. So I went into a math 115 class. I was in it for about a month, and everything had just been algebra so far. So I figured, hey, this is going to be pretty easy. I might as well just test out of this. So I walk up to my professor, and I tell him, hey, I'm looking to test out of this class. Could I just get an exam or something that I can take and get the credit for the class? And he looks at me and he says, okay, are you sure about that? And I say, yeah, I'm in Math 172. That's what I tested, and I can do this no problem. So he says, okay. Uh, he gives me a date, says, come to the learning center, we'll get this done. I show up on the day, and I've got this really fancy calculator that I've had since 8th grade. Only calculator I know how to use. And when I get there, they tell me, hey, you can't use that. You got to use this TI-83 that we got. And I say, okay, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I'll be fine. I know my math. And as I get into it, the first page, it goes by no problem. Flip on the second page, and I see Linregs. And those are a little bit difficult. I don't know how to do them on the calculator, but I do them by hand. And my answer is just slightly off, but I don't get credit for it. Next one, I see something called a z-graph. And I have never heard of z-graphs before. So I just skip that one. I'm thinking, maybe I'll remember it. Maybe I'm just forgetting it right now. I've never heard of those, ever. And as I'm going through the test, there's more and more things that I'm just missing that aren't there. And as I'm going through, I'm thinking to myself, why is this so difficult? I tested in 172. This should be a piece of cake. And as I'm getting towards the end, I start my last problem, and the person giving me my test says, hey, it's been the full 2 hours. You're allowed 2 hours. Finish up the problem you're on. And I'm thinking to myself, how could this have taken me 2 hours? This is supposed to be simple math. So I finish up the problem. I turn it in. I'm walking out. Head's kind of drooping down. I'm thinking, I don't know how I did on this test. I get an email from my professor about 2 days later. I failed the test. And that was a big blow because I had never failed a math test before. I had been completely on the ball on everything that I had done in terms of math. And the fact that I had taken a 115 test, being in 172 and failed it, just destroyed me. So after that, it was a little awkward, but I decided, hey, I think I'm going to keep coming to this class. I want to learn the things that I didn't know. And as I walk in on the day, the first class day that is, after the test, I just kind of make eye contact with my teacher for a second, and he gives me a little smirk. I just droop my head and sit down in my chair.